Sometimes one of the main drawbacks when investing in a second-hand vintage sewing machine is that over time the accessories can go missing. Most of the time a vintage sewing machine like this one will only really come with the presser foot that's hopefully still attached to the presser bar. Unlike my other sewing machines that are low shank, this Emdeko is a high shank sewing machine which can make finding and locating extra accessories even more tricky. I'm Ollie, this is SimplyStitchy, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can get more presser feet for your high shank sewing machine. The first thing that we're going to look at is, what do I mean by a high shank sewing machine? What I'm referring to is here. The shank is part of the presser foot that attaches it to the presser bar. If I lower the presser foot for a minute, check where that thumb screw is sitting. That thumb screw is actually holding the presser foot onto the presser bar, and it's quite away from the base of the machine. If I put my thumb just to the side of it, the thumb screw is level with the knuckle on my thumb. It's a good inch away from the base of the machine. If we compare that to a modern machine, this is my Brother SE625. If we take another look at the position of the thumb screw, you'll notice that it is a lot closer to the base of the machine. If I just get my thumb next to it, you'll see that the thumb screw, it's level with the top of my thumbnail. This is what's known as a low shank sewing machine. And that's the difference. It's the height of the thumb screw from the base of the machine. Obviously, when you measure and you're trying to work out if you've got a high shank or a low shank machine, make sure that the presser foot is actually sitting on the bed, so it's in the lowered position before you take the measurement. One of the great things about modern sewing machines is that they all tend to come with what's known as snap-on presser feet, and they all tend to be interchangeable. You can purchase sets of presser feet that are generic and will fit most popular brands of domestic modern sewing machines. Most popular brands of sewing machine built today come with the ability to take snap-on feet. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for vintage sewing machines. In an attempt to overcome that small problem, most presser feet sets come with what's known as an adapter, and it's this one. Adding this to your vintage and some antique sewing machines, you can make it possible for them to use snap-on feet. I'll put a link in the description box below showing how to use this low shank adapter on a vintage Singer 66. As I mentioned earlier, this Emdeko isn't a low shank sewing machine, so the adapter that comes with many of these presser feet sets isn't going to work with this particular machine. If I just put it level with the presser foot, the actual connection is a lot lower than the thumb screw. We're going to need another gizmo in order to make this sewing machine compatible with snap-on feet, and here it is. This is the high shank adapter. I'm just going to put the two together so that you can see the difference side by side. That's the high shank and this is the low shank. As you can see, the high shank one is quite a bit taller. Let's put this high shank adapter to the test and see if we can get it to work on the Emdeko. The first thing to do is raise the presser foot and then undo the thumb screw to take off the existing presser foot. As you can see, the presser foot that came with the machine is an all-in-one. Although it's hinged, the shank is permanently attached to the foot. Using the same thumb screw, what we're going to do now is attach the high shank adapter. These snap-on feet will fit the high shank adapter in the same way that they would with the low shank adapter. However, you see just inside that little groove there, if I push the release lever on the side of the adapter, you see that moving? You may find that with some brands of high shank adapter you will need to push that release lever in order to be able to fit a snap-on foot to the adapter. This is just a standard zigzag foot. I'm just going to position that underneath the adapter. As I lower the presser bar, I'm going to just push that release lever forwards. And there you go. Now let's see how well it sews. That was the zigzag stitch. Now let's try the straight stitch. And there you have it, a vintage Emdeko domestic sewing machine using modern snap-on feet. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And why not subscribe and click that little bell just below the video screen so that YouTube can let you know when I've uploaded another video. You can also become a member of the channel by clicking the join button, and for $3.99 you can benefit from early access to my long form videos and other perks. Whatever video you go and check out next, hope to see you back here for the next one. And in the meantime, whatever you're sewing it with, embrace your creativity and have fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.